My name is Tyler Davis, owner of Triumph Studio, and we are back for episode 7 of Triumph Fuel and Fire. And it's an episode where I'm excited to talk with my friend Andy. And what we do here on this podcast is we dive into what fuels mindsets, what fires us up, what gets us out of bed every morning, what is going to be that passion that really drives us forward into things. And from the time that I have gotten to know Andy, he embodies that. Like, you're very soft-spoken in some ways, but at the same time, like, after getting to know you, like, you walk with integrity, you lead with integrity, you have a kind heart, like, you don't take no BS. That's a thing. But also, like, you have grown a business that is built on honest word, ethics, and integrity, and that's one of the things that has drawn me to you, not only as a friend, but as a businessman, and somebody that I can look up to and consider a friend and a mentor, because, like, if you say you're going to do it, you do it. And that's one of the coolest things. And I mean, I think for me, that's what fuels my fire. I mean, that's what has led to me being in the seat that I'm in today. But, Andy, I would love for you to just take a second, introduce yourself and what you do, where you came from.
Yeah, so like Tyler said, my name is Andy. Some know me by Andrew. But first, thanks for those kind words. I appreciate that. It means a lot. But yeah, so I was born and raised in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I went to Fort Wayne Northside. After that, I went to college. Had to go junior college, so I went to Owens Community College in Toledo, Ohio. And then from there, I went to Tiffin University, which is in Tiffin, Ohio. And then from there, I played a few years of professional basketball over in England and in France. And I did that for, I think, like 3 years. Ran into some injuries. That's when I kind of realized, like, hey, this might not be the best route for me. So once I decided, I came home, needed to make some money. So I'm like, hey, what can I do? Luckily, I had a buddy who was a painter for his dad, who was a general contractor. So then that's when I started painting. 6 months of that, I thought, hey, let me try this, and let me see if I can do this by myself, just to make a little bit of extra money. Because I forgot to mention. So at the same time that I started painting, I also went to barber school at Ravenscroft. So I would paint 8 to 3 p.m. and then I would go to barber school from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. I did that for a year and a half straight. I graduated early, and the only days I missed 4 days out of that year and a half, and that was due to my grandmother passing away. So I kind of, knew exactly what I wanted, and that was to be a barber. But in the grand scheme of things, just, make a living for myself. So I did that. So like I said, I have about a year into the barber school, I started Three Rivers Painting, just as like a side gig, right? So I just would make a little bit extra money, but my ultimate goal was to be a barber. So then once I graduated barber school, I would paint Monday through Thursday and then cut hair Friday and Saturday, just because that was the busiest times for a barber, especially if you're just out of school, you don't have a clientele. So that's the best chances of getting a walk-in. Yeah. So I did that for about 3 months, and then I'm like, hey, this is not necessarily for me. The painting is doing a little bit better than what I expected. And at this time, it was me, and then I had one other guy that was working with me.
For the painting business?
For the painting, yep. So just two guys, took every Friday, Saturday, Sunday off from painting. But anyways, I stopped cutting hair, so I put all my focus into the painting. So started trying to drum up more business, find different ways of bringing that business in, and like ever since then, kind of just every year we've grown. 2 years ago, I stopped painting, and now I just had guys working for me, and now we're up to, don't know the exact count, but roughly 30 guys and gals that work for us, and now we're here.
Yeah, man. Look at that. Yeah. Just like that. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, so let's take it back just a second, all the way back how you said you from Fort Wayne.
Yep.
Grew up, went to Northside. Did you play basketball
At Northside? Yeah. Yep. So I played basketball at Northside. I played basketball my whole life, but that's once I got to high school, that's kind of when I got serious. My sophomore year I played freshman ball. Sophomore year I actually started varsity, so I made a big jump. But then going into my junior year, that's when I made the biggest jump where I'm like, okay, maybe I can actually go to college and make this kind of like, it was a career to some extent, but a lot of people think, oh, he played overseas, you make a lot of money. That's not the.
A lot of people think a lot of things.
Yeah, that's not exactly what it is. You know, you had to make some money to play in ball. Like, yeah, I got paid, but if you guys knew what I got paid, you'd be like, oh, this guy, if he didn't have a house, he might be homeless.
I feel that. Well, I think there's a lot of people that do what they do, and from that exterior, it looks like, oh, they must be financially doing amazing, but they don't always take into account the operating costs of just life. I mean, I'm sure living overseas isn't cheap. I mean, running a business takes a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot coming in, but there's a lot going out.
It's one of those things, you know, no one's going to post the negatives, you know. Some people do, and you know what I'm saying, like that's good, but for the most part, everybody's just going to post the positives. Like it's like what they say, Instagram's like everybody's highlight reel, you know. So
it is.
No offense, but like I said, everybody's trying to chase that dream, right? So my dream was to go hopefully make a career out playing basketball. And like I said, I did to an extent, but it wasn't something that you could do for the rest of your life.
Sustainable.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, then I played overseas, and
what role were some of the coaches growing up? Like, do you have any coaches that really stuck out to you along the way that like were pivotal in some of the decisions that, in the mindsets and the way that you approach your life now?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when you're in that coaching role, like they're gonna try and teach you discipline and what it takes to be successful. So all the coaches that I had, you know, they played a part in to where I'm at to this day. But I had a couple coaches. My junior college coach, out of all the years that I played, junior college was probably the hardest, but probably the funnest as well. Like, if you're not too many people are familiar with college ball, but a lot of times, junior college, it's the athletes that are not the greatest in school, or might have had a couple hiccups outside of school,
getting in trouble,
but some of the best players that you'll ever come across came from junior college. And then on top of that, it's you get a scholarship, you get a scholarship for the school, but the living is not paid for. So then that's when you have to do like the financial aid, and it's very challenging because a lot of these junior colleges, they're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So, and they're small. It would be like equivalent to like an Ivy Tech, right? But not in Fort Wayne, like in a smaller, like I said Toledo, but it was actually in like Perrysburg, which is outside Toledo, in like a rural area, right? Yeah. So not too much around, and all you do is eat, sleep, breathe, basketball, and then also go to school. And it's just very challenging because everybody's goal is to hopefully get a scholarship to go to a 4-year school. But anyways, my coach there was Coach Clark, which very good coach, was very successful at that level. And he pretty much didn't tolerate anything. So if you didn't have good grades, you're not playing. If you weren't respectful, you're not playing. And he made sure that you knew that too. So he would talk crazy to you, right? And he would belittle you and break you down, but then he would build you back up. And hopefully when he builds you back up, you're actually somebody that can go out into the real world and be successful. So I do, to Coach Clark, I owe a lot to him, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How was it when you first got that dose of that tough love?
I was like, did I make the right decision? Yeah. You know?
Was it similar to how you were raised at all? Or was it
not
different?
Necessarily. I can't, like I said, my parents, they very supportive of me. Like, you know, they're still together to this day. So I grew up in a good household. They had everything there for me that I needed. So it was something that I was new to, you know, like if I was, like I said, I wasn't the greatest in school, and I wasn't I got in trouble and all that, but my parents, they didn't really punish me too much. So you could say that might not be the greatest way to parent, but
there's no instruction manual.
exactly, yeah. But they made sure to know that it wasn't the right decision or right thing to do. But when I got to
wouldn't be tolerated.
yeah. But did I learn from that necessarily? Not, no. But when I got to junior college, though, like I said, it was one of those things like, hey, it's like if you're not successful here, then what are you gonna do? Go back home.
If you can remember one of those first times that Coach Clark maybe said something wild, and what was that first thought? Because really, in that moment, you sort of have a decision, and you probably saw some of the other guys on the team be like, "Forget you."
Yeah. So I can't really necessarily say it on the microphone, but let's just say he spoke about family members.
Yeah.
And he brought the mom in the picture. Obviously, no digger. He didn't know my mom, but he brought it. You don't really say anything about someone's mom.
Right.
But he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? He said something about my mother. I'm like, is that like for what reason? And I'm like,
did you ever find out what that reason was? Do you think it was to invoke a response and to like wake you up in a sense?
To an extent, I would say, yeah. Like, just kind of like this, like, listen, man, like, there's no games being played here, Like, it's like you have to, if you don't give it your all, like
your mama's not coming to clean this up for
exactly.
you. That type of
thing. Yeah. And I came out of my team, like, I probably came from, like, the best, or had the best background, right? Like, parents still together.
Yeah.
But he didn't treat anybody differently. So someone that he thought might need it more than the next person,
it was all the same.
It's all the same, right? So, and at that time also, like, I was considered like a team leader as well. So that might be another reason. So like, he's like, I'm gonna make an example out the team leader, the person that is supposed to be held to a higher standard.
Yeah.
But to show you guys, like, hey, like, he's not at the high standard. He's right in line with you. So everybody's getting treated the same.
Do you agree or disagree with that type of leadership?
I agree with it to an extent, and at a certain age. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't necessarily talk to a grown man that way. Like, we're 18 years old, right?
Yeah.
And we're still trying to find our way in life. So I take that back. I definitely agree in tough love, but I don't think you can just say exactly everything that's on your mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
Like,
a lot of times we will talk about, like, it's the way you deliver the message.
Yeah.
Like, you can have some intensity with it, and a lot of times you should.
Yeah.
But you also need to be mindful of the delivery.
Exactly. And like, in that situation, like, yeah, he tore me down. I'm like, yo, like, I actually walked out of practice when he said that. And I'm like, yo, this is like, I don't agree with this. And I think when he said that, he knew he kind of crossed the line.
Yeah.
Because he sent the assistant coach the next day and said, hey, he understands that he might have crossed the line, but he's not going to apologize.
Right.
So
how do you feel about that?
Like, that's, at least it's something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what
would it have been more meaningful if he would have come and said that himself?
Not necessarily. Yeah. Like, did he say he knew he crossed the line, or was that the assistant coach just taking one for the team? Who knows?
Hard to say.
But I had a good relationship with the head coach.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he said that, but the next day it's a new day,
Right.
Like,
do you feel like that moment has been impactful to the way you lead now, today?
Not necessarily that moment, but the way he coached me in general, yes.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's one of those things that it was like, okay, like, you can't really you can make mistakes, but there's gonna be a consequence to that mistake. There was like another situation where and when it came to the team, like, I was straightforward, right? Like, yeah, I didn't get the greatest grades, and I might talk back here and there, but when it came to, like, showing up on time, every day on time, when it came to teammates needed a ride, picking them up every time, like, when it came to that kind of stuff, like, I'm not slipping up. I never drank, still don't to this day. Obviously, in the college life, you have teammates that do drink, and I'm only saying this because all those situations we get punished for, right? Yeah. So there was two situations I'll get real quick. So in college, in junior college, my teammates, they didn't have enough seats in the car, so someone got in the trunk of the car.
Oh yeah.
And they're driving around. Campus security sees a guy peeking out the back of the trunk. We show up the next day, or actually no, that evening.
Why was he peeking out of the trunk? Just cause?
That's just what what it is. But we show up to practice, and we had a rec center, and then we had our gym, and the rec center had a track around it. And we show up, and there's like 10 trash cans all throughout the rec center. And we're like, what's going on? And he was like, he goes to explain. He's like, I heard such and such was riding around in the trunk of such and such car. So for that, we're running. So we ran all practice, 2 hours straight, just running around. And then he switched it up. There's like 4 basketball courts with the track around. So you run around the track, and then you run around each basketball court.
Were the trash cans there for you to throw up in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, we had a handful of teammates that would throw up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach knew.
He knew.
Coach knew.
Yep. And then he went in and saying, like, listen, if you're playing college basketball and you're throwing up, you're doing something outside.
Right.
That is not the correct way, whether you're eating or doing something else. So it was like, all right, you're gonna run. That's a punishment, but then also we're gonna make it a learning on 2 things. Make sure you don't do nothing dumb. Obviously, both things
Yeah,
are dumb.
because the ones that were throwing up gave him an indication on who else was participating in extracurricular activities.
Exactly.
Isn't that interesting how old school will hit you with a lesson and you don't even realize the lesson in the moment?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times my dad.
Not everybody realizes that, you know.
Yeah. Well, and that's where it's like sometimes to a fault, I will find myself trying to extract a lesson to this day. But I think part of it is just through having gone through so many examples like that to where you're like, dang, what was the deeper meaning of this?
Yeah.
Because like you pull up and you're like, some trash cans.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Exactly.
And now in hindsight, you're like, oh, dang.
It's not going to be a fun day.
Coach was investigating by punishing us, but every time he saw somebody bent over one of them trash cans, he's learning who he needs to watch a little closer.
Yep. And then real quick, the second was, this was when I was in Tiffin University. The team, this was at the beginning, like when we first got there. So we're like, when you start school, like obviously you're not in season, so you have like preseason workouts and all that. So we had a preseason workout, and then we go into practice, and he had a stack of papers like this that said TUB, which is Tiffin University basketball party, bring your own beer, or BOB or whatever, bring your own beer, booze. Again, I don't drink and I don't party, so this had nothing to do with me. But again, it's one of those things. He's like, so what's all this? He was like, people brought these to us, and they've been thrown around all the dorms and everything. And the people that made them, they owned up to it. But it was like, again, you're a team, so if one gets punished, everybody gets punished. So for like 2 months straight, we had to get up at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, lift weights and run. So I'm only saying this because those type of situations, I believe, helped me to realize, like, hey, even though like if I wasn't wrong, like made the mistake or whatever, but it was like hard work. You know, like nothing comes easy. So like how people do here, they wake up every day like 4 a.m., come here and work out. It's the same thing that professional college athletes do,
Yeah.
So
it's that the mindset, the winner's mindset of like whatever it's gonna take. It takes what it takes.
Yeah.
And then when you find that blueprint for success, then you just replicate that.
Exactly.
But it's not easy to do.
Yeah, it's not easy to do. Everybody can do it, but it's not easy. It takes time and hard work. But once you get to that point where it comes natural, like you're gonna have ups and downs. But once you come to that time where you're like, oh, I can do this, like you feel a lot better about yourself.
Was there a specific moment, or have you always been that way? Like that you could look back and be like, man, I want to be one of those people that shows up, that does the right thing, that stays committed to the word that I speak. I mean, word is bond. That's how I was brought up. So if I'm going to say I'm going to do it, then I got to do it. Yeah.
I kind of always been this way. Just because, I don't know, it's just the mindset. Both my parents, they worked every single day. They worked hard, so they were good role models. But ever since because my ultimate goal was to play professional basketball. So I'm like, what does it take, you know? And that's, like I said, it's hard work. So I always been able to put in the work.
What were some of your role models in professional basketball that you looked up to?
I didn't really look up to any person or athlete as like a role model. For role models, my biggest role model would be, or I have two big role models, three, would be my dad, my grandfather, and my brother, and all for different reasons. But those are my, and they weren't really athletes, you know, none of them were athletes. So I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really have anybody like LeBron.
How did the lessons that they taught you translate to being an athlete?
Yeah, so my dad, like I said, he took care of my family, him going to work every single day, being there for us was, you know, obviously that's a good, you know, good person to follow. Pop was not really so much with the basketball, more on the business side because he was a businessman himself.
Yeah.
But my brother, he was probably, like I said, he's done the most for me when it comes to basketball and business. So that big year that I took, sophomore year going into my junior year, I was like averaging maybe around 10 points my sophomore year, went to averaging over 20 in my junior year, but I changed completely different positions. I was a center power forward all the way up to like a junior year shooting guard small forward, which is two different realms if you know anything about basketball. But my brother, like I said, because I started varsity my sophomore year, so I'm like, okay, like I'm going in the right direction. But I'm like, I don't really like being the big guy, you know, like I was just down there because I was tall. But my brother, he literally woke me up every day in the summer, 6 a.m., took me to the Y, and we just shot every single day, hundreds and hundreds of shots, every single day. And then that coming year, I had the chance of becoming like a shooting guard or small forward, actually show like what I think I could do and what I thought my best ability was to do. And then from there it was kind of like, okay, this guy can play basketball, you know? So then that's where I started getting noticed by schools and all that. But again, going back to the beginning, I didn't have the best grades. So that's what kind of hurt me from going to any NCAA at first. I ended up going to Division II after junior college. But like I said, my brother played a big role. And he was there for me as well when I was overseas. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he just instilled the reps.
Yep.
Reps.
Yep.
Over and over and over. Sometimes it's just going to take that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's what sometimes people will get deterred from because that can be boring.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get up and you do the same thing.
Yeah.
You do the same thing. Like, I mean, sometimes in these rooms, a squat is a squat. Like, how many times are you going to say a squat? But there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that so your body can continue to understand that it needs to hold the load. And it creates the neurological connection and all that stuff and sparks that fire inside of you. So when would you say was the moment when you realized professional basketball is not going to be the route?
It was, so my last 4 years of playing basketball, I had season-ending injuries pretty much. So I went from breaking my hand, breaking my foot, torn my MCL, and tearing my calf muscle. All season-ending injuries, all 4 years in a row. But the time before that, not a single injury. So it kind of came very quick. And it was physically and mentally draining, trying to bounce back and then also try to perform at the highest level. And then when you're overseas, that's your job, right? So if you get hurt, there's a good chance you could get sent home or you get replaced. Luckily enough, before I got injured when I was overseas, I was playing well, so they kept me around. But not even a week, then a couple of days later, they had brought a new American over to replace me.
Did you feel like that was like, oh, that's a sign?
Yeah, it was kind of, like I said, it was like, dang, man, like, and I understand, but it's cutthroat, you know?
It's a business.
It's a business.
Which sucks to say when your heart and your passion and your drive, especially from like you imagine being a little kid and like that's what you're looking.
Yeah.
And then you realize that like, damn, it's a business.
Yeah. But like I said, all those things happen for a reason. Because obviously, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here to this day. Or I should say, doing what I do to this day. But because I was playing very well overseas my first year, which was, I knew I could do it, but a lot of people took a lot of people by shock. Like the team brought me on kind of as like a bench player. I went from being maybe like the last man off the bench to a starter very quick, and then from them, a few games in, talking about contract for next year. So I was playing very well, which that would be the only negative thing. I'm like, man, what could I have if I didn't get injured? Where would I be to this day?
Yeah.
Or where I'd be at this day with playing ball. But
do you ever find yourself going down that mental pathway of like what might have been possible if
maybe a couple years ago, but not now. I'm happy with how life is playing out right now. I like and love the people around me. I like what I do. Obviously ups and downs, but I like where the position I'm in right now.
That's funny that you say it that way, because just like on part of the basketball team, like you said a few minutes ago, like you realized you didn't necessarily love the position you were in.
Yeah.
So you had to adapt and become a different player in a different position. Yeah. And sometimes you get to make that choice, and other times life gets to make that choice.
Exactly, yeah.
For us. But I think a lot of it is like, what is the mindset we then take to that?
Yeah.
Like, are we willing to be coached, whether that's by God, whether that's Coach Clark, whether that's a coach in the rooms, yourself, like, and I think sometimes people struggle with that.
Yeah, no, it's very true, because there's a lot of athletes that when they stop playing sport, they struggle. And you can look it up online. It's kind of an issue.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
I didn't learn about it because in high school I was not an athlete. Like I played soccer my freshman year. After that I went to work. Worked for my dad. I just worked and partied. Like that was my sport. If you could have got varsity jacket and partying, I'd have gone pro.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest lessons to your point that I learned, and I've talked about this on previous episodes, is when we did the first year of training season and we brought people in to potentially become coaches, and we asked people like, what is it that attracted you to Triumph and now makes you want to be a coach? And a lot of them were ex-college athletes, ex-high school athletes, and they said after I quit or the team or my season ended, I didn't have a team.
Yeah.
And this became my team. And I think that in a lot of ways, we're a community, but we're a team, which is why we find ourselves saying that.
Yeah, no, it's very true. It's very true, because when I stopped playing ball, business and all that, like I said, it was kind of, going up. But like me personally, like I was putting on bad weight, kind of didn't have the right mindset. Luckily enough, I met Olivia and she introduced me to Triumph and kind of changed, my life in that aspect of being healthy and having that team and, team environment. Like and then also being held accountable. You don't want to get charged the $12 and, all that stuff. So you gotta be here, which is a good thing. I like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people probably would be like, oh, if it was free or I could they wouldn't show up. So
100%, man. I mean, and I learned that way back when I was a Beachbody coach, and people would be like, well, I could burn P90X for free. And I'm like, you're right, you could, but are you going to do it?
Yeah.
If you don't have any investment, what's instilled within you?
Yeah.
And to your point, like I don't have the late cancel fee and the no-show fee in place to punish people.
Yeah.
It's because we want you in that spot.
For sure.
We want you to stay committed to the commitment that you made yourself. Like, we allow grace cancels.
Yeah.
We give those because we realize life happens, but your team's counting on you.
Exactly.
And that's why that accountability measure is in place. Yeah. What would Coach Clark do if you didn't show up to practice?
You're running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're not playing, or you're getting chewed out at.
All right. See, so it could be worse. You could show up in the parking lot and there's 10 trash cans set up.
Exactly.
That could be a thing.
You don't want that. You could take your 45, 55 minutes here and you're fine. You don't want to be doing any of that for 2 hours.
No. No, I remember soccer was a lot of running.
Yeah.
And I was built for comfort, not speed back then. That's for sure. Yeah, man. So how would you say your identity as an athlete has translated into the way that you approach business?
Like I said, like hard work, not getting discouraged necessarily if something goes wrong. Always trying to find ways to grow, be better. That'd be a big one.
Do you read books? What are some of the ways that you grow yourself?
I don't read. A lot of people probably say it might sound cliche, but I mean, what I really do is I wake up, come to Triumph, work, go home, see, figure out what's going on the next day. But then in the course of that day, I'm always thinking of like, how am I growing? Like I'm always looking at like, not necessarily my competition, but what are other people doing? What can I do to be better? So I don't really have like a necessarily like I don't read. Like I would say Triumph would be that thing for me, like if it would like.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So like, cause you take away Triumph and then you take away my couple hours of downtime in the evening, it's just work, which not saying that as a negative thing. I love it to death. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I appreciate it. So like, it's not a negative thing. It's just what I do.
No, I mean, obviously I love that.
Yeah.
But I think that's what Triumph is built upon, is sometimes this is the only 45 minutes to an hour or something that some of the high performing adults, parents, career people, business owners or whatever get to yourselves. And if Triumph can be what speaks into your soul and drives that purpose and keeps the fuel into the fire throughout the rest of your day, then that means we're doing our job.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, and really, so I'd love to know, obviously I'm from Fort Wayne too, so I have an idea, but what made you decide on the name Three Rivers Painting?
So going back to my brother, it was actually, he was the one that kind of came up with the name, the website, the logo, all that kind of stuff. And he kind of just came to me. I told him, again, like I said, I owe a lot to my brother. I just want to make sure people know that, like I said, with basketball and business, he's played a big part, and he's been there. Like I said, he would wake me up going to the gym, and then he also helps me whenever I need him when it comes to the business. And he was living in here when I was in high school, but now he lives over in England. So he's doing all that
from England. What's he doing in England?
He works for Levi's.
Okay.
Levi Strauss. But he's doing all that on top of what he has going on in his own life. So I owe a lot to him. But then when it came to, I'm like, hey bro, like I think I can I want to start this painting company. He was there. He was all go. Not everybody around me was supportive of that. They're like, I have to be a barber. It's more secure.
But what does secure mean?
Everybody, a lot of people, you don't know until you try. If you fail, you fail, but at least you know that you tried.
100%.
But he came to me. He was like, we got two names: Three Rivers Painting or Bachman's Painting, which is my last name.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to have your last name, but I'm like, I got, my vision's kind of bigger. I don't want to be like just Bachman's Painting. Like kind of in the painting industry, there's other people that have their last names and they're bigger, but a lot of times it's like a one man.
I know what you're saying. My dad's company was Davis Enterprises.
Yeah, small crew. So like, let's do Three Rivers Painting. Fort Wayne they know what that is. I have a goal of expanding, and it might not make sense in like Evansville or something like that, but it still goes. It still goes. It still makes sense. So I just thought it was a good name.
I like it. I mean, like I said, I'm from here, so I get it, and I think it's amazing. I think it'd be incredible to be in Florida or California or Utah or someplace not even connected in Three Rivers Painting. Yeah. But it still makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's funny though, like some people are like, why you choose Three Rivers and we'll be in Fort Wayne? I'm like, you don't know, you don't see everything else is named Three Rivers too?
Do you know? This is Adrian always gets a shout out during the podcast. Somehow you get involved. Do you know why Three Rivers is like a thing here?
That's Three Rivers.
And they all connect in downtown. All right, you passed. Hannah was like, she's like, you better get this.
Yeah.
So, like on your website, and I know just from what I had talked about at the top of this episode, just knowing you, it doesn't surprise me that Three Rivers has 3 core commitments,
Yeah.
which are affordable pricing, exceptional service, and impeccable quality.
Yeah.
Like, what's the significance for you behind why those are 3 of your core commitments?
It was just, I mean, I feel like those 3 commitments are what people would want to hear, and what people would want or expect if they're hiring a business and paying their hard-earned money for something, that they're getting done. So, and we try to hold everybody, like all of our guys, to those commitments as well. And it takes, and like, we're not perfect, we make mistakes. We try to be perfect, but we can guarantee, though, if we do make a mistake, we're going to do whatever we can to make it right. So then that goes into the whole no money up front. So, like,
That's what I was just going to ask you about.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge for somebody that runs a business like yours.
Yeah.
You don't take deposits.
Yeah, we don't take deposits, and we've been lucky enough to not have to do that. Maybe 2 times out of the last 7 years, someone's tried to burn us. So that's a big shout out to, all of our customers. But it's like I said, people want to know that they can trust a company that's, whether it's coming into their business or their home. And if someone's like, "Oh, you don't have no money up front," they should be, that should put them in a positive feeling, knowing, hey, we can trust these guys, and they're going to honor our work, obviously to make sure that the customer is happy, but also to get paid.
Yeah.
We get a lot of stories, a handful a year, where someone's like, hey, we paid this person a down payment, they just stopped showing up, or they didn't show up whatsoever. So it's like,
I think we all know of a story like
exactly,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So us doing that kind of puts that
Puts
even
people
that
at
thought.
ease.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It does. It's in my mind, it's almost like a token of good faith.
Yep.
From the business owner standpoint, which, I mean, just a law of reciprocation, like it kind of lowers people's defenses and makes them feel like, okay,
Yeah.
because like you said, you're going into people's homes, and sometimes that's not it for everybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just, like I said, we just try to be the best we can be. And like I said, we have new guys that come in all the time. Not all the time, but when we hire someone, it probably takes them a year to year and a half to figure out how, I don't
You
wanna say
operate.
how I operate.
But that is how you
Yeah.
operate.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like we've talked about, I mean, with Triumph, I mean, I'm not the original founding owner, but I'm the owner now.
Yep.
And obviously we operate in some ways the same and in other ways different.
Yeah.
And sometimes that climate shift,
Yeah.
that shift in the way messages are delivered or what have you, it takes people a little while. I mean, we've talked about before, I know Kristen and I have talked about it, but many times, like some people are the thermostat, some are the thermometer, and you have to understand which role you play.
Yeah.
You set the temp, and sometimes people might want to stay cold,
Yeah.
or they might want to stay too hot.
Yeah.
How do you handle those situations when you'll bring somebody on, and like how long do you usually give them before you realize, like, I don't think they're going to be the right fit?
So I've only had maybe a couple of times where I've ran into someone where like I'm not sure that they see my vision. And like I said, a lot of the guys that we have, they kind of know each other. So they kind of know, like, hey, like, this is how this guy, if you want to work with them, like, it's not the easiest, but there's some other positive, you get paid every Friday, like, you're doing good work. We provide, we provide their uniforms. Like, we do a lot of stuff that a lot of these other, I don't know exactly how everybody operates, but we do a lot of stuff that is not the norm for I shouldn't even say the pain, just in like the trade industry.
Yeah. Just because you want to take care of your people.
Exactly. Yep. I'll take care of my people before I take care of myself. So, that's one reason why, we spoke before, but like these guys get paid every Friday on the jobs that they finish. we don't even receive a check from these houses, but we are like, these guys know what they're doing. I trust them, so we're paying them before we even do our final walkthrough. So that's kind of how we operate, and that's kind of how, like, that can tell the customers, like, hey, we pretty, like, 9 out of 10 times we're gonna nail the project. So
Well, and that's the thing, you believe in your product.
Yeah.
You believe in your people, and that makes it easy to do.
yeah,
And sometimes, like Simon Sinek says, like, the leader eats last.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just how it has to go. I mean, I can remember learning that lesson from my dad, where he would call me because it got to the point where I was managing payroll and I was paying all the guys at the end of the week.
Yeah.
And he'd call me and be like, hey, I hate to ask you this, but can you not take a check this week?
yeah. And I'm a strong believer in that too, because this was my vision. I started it too. So like I got to take the responsibilities of getting paid last, and my guys, they have families, and at the end of the day, I don't paint. Like, if I do what I do, but these guys are the ones that are out there that are actually doing the hard work, that are working in 100-degree weather or traveling 5 hours to go do a job. That's not necessarily me. So it's like I believe they deserve to get paid before I do.
And that's probably why Three Rivers Painting has so many, like, 5-star Google reviews.
Yeah.
And, like, I was doing a little research on there and stuff, and I know Triumph has mostly 5-star too.
Yeah.
We have a couple 1s. Well, but there's history there. Yeah. And then we have a couple 2s, and I always reach out to these people. Yeah. I'll call them, but I saw on, I think maybe it was Reddit or something, where people were being skeptic about your scores were too perfect.
Seen that,
so how do you respond to that?
I mean, like I said, all of our reviews are real. Like, obviously we have some that
initially I want to say haters gonna hate.
It's funny that you bring this up, because I kid you not. Obviously Amelia, who works here but also works for me, she sent me a message, and Three Rivers Painting gets 1 star, and I'm like, how do we get a 1 star? And sure enough, the review is like, oh, one of their vans ran a stop sign, and I'm like, like, what, like, okay, should we be running stop signs? No, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably an accident. No one's running stop signs on purpose unless it's an emergency. But it's just one of those things. It's just like, we're only getting 1-star reviews if you can't be pleased, or if you're doing something like that,
Yeah.
or if you're being a hater. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
and that's like, that brings up an interesting point. I know I've had to learn this lesson in the past, because let's just take that example. It may have been someone who, and this might be going drastic, but I only say this because I ran into it. It could have been someone who maybe lost their parent, son, or daughter in a vehicle accident by someone who ran a stop sign 6 months ago, a year ago.
Yeah.
So maybe for that person, it seems like a small act, but to them it's massive.
Yeah.
And that's the part of the risk that I think people sometimes don't understand, that when you put your name on something, because are you Three Rivers Painting? No, but to an extent, yes, you are.
Yeah.
That's you. That's your vision. That's your people. And when the team understands that every action they take outside has an impact.
Yeah. Even if it's like I said, a mistake, you can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just how people, like, I understand, but I'm not a real believer in, like,
you don't take things out on other people.
On other people, yeah. I don't like that. Like, I can understand, and everybody has a different situation, but I can't say that I'm perfect either. Like, if I get upset, I can't say it.
No, but I feel like what I'm hearing you say is, like, don't tear down my business.
Yeah,
because
or anybody, you know what I'm saying?
Or anybody.
Business. Yeah, I was in the paint store yesterday, and this guy asked a question to one of the workers, and he didn't know, so the guy just started, like, yelling at him. I'm like, for what reason? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's way too many things going on today to worry about if the guy knows what kind of drywall tape you want. Like, it's like, but I get it though. Everybody has a different life. Everybody's going through something.
Yeah, but part of that is why we do what we do here at Triumph.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because hurting people hurt people.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's taking the time to heal yourself so that you don't go in there and get triggered because somebody doesn't know what tape you need.
Yeah.
Like, and it is hard as a business owner you want to please everybody.
Yeah.
But that's not realistic.
Yeah.
Like to some degree, you're never gonna please everybody.
Yeah.
But what I was saying before we had to take a pause was I can personally attest to the quality of your work and your integrity because you have come into Kelly and I's house. You did everything you said you were going to do. You took a walk, stuck to your word, and your guys were great.
Yeah.
They were super efficient. Like it blew my mind how quickly they got things done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knocked
Well,
it out.
that's the difference too. Like anybody can paint. You know, you might not be the greatest, and it takes time. But that's like it's one of those things where there's a lot of painters because it doesn't really take it takes a skill, but you don't need like a license or anything like that. But we run into those things where everybody's like, oh, we could do it ourselves or we can hire. And I'm like, you could try it yourself, but we'll do it and it'll be done to a very good standard and probably half the time that it would take you. So it's all depends. How much time do you have?
Tell me a little bit about the Paint It Forward program and what it is and where that, like, what sparked that.
Yeah, so Paint It Forward started, I was actually sitting down with my now brother-in-law, Austin, and it was kind of like his idea, honestly. Like I was like, we kind of give back a lot, right? But underneath, like no one knows about it, like it's like, Tyler, you want some painting? Like I can't really afford it. Okay, we'll take care of you, right? Which we still do. But Austin's like, how about we do like a whole campaign about it? And I like the idea, and I kind of just ran with it, came up with the logo, did the new shirts and all that, and then the church that I go to, Elevate City, we've talked back and forth about painting it. I actually sent them a quote last year, and I'm like, we'll just take care of this for free, and kind of be the launch of this whole Paint It Forward thing. So all the timing just added, it was perfect, because like once we started to paint it forward, I'm like, we'll do the church. So it was a good, I had that kind of on the radar, and then
that was a great way to launch it.
Yeah, it was a good, it turned out great. Obviously, we had Adrian, do I think 3 videos on it that came out awesome. And out of everything that we done, before and after is another kind of the giveaways and stuff. The Paint It Forward got the most like traction. Again, it's like the most followers, the most people that shared it. So it's it's a good thing, like obviously it's a positive thing, and trying to get it out there, and hopefully other businesses can kind of follow that footstep. And not everybody has to do it online or put it on Instagram or anything like that. But it's also just good brand recognition too, and showing people that they appreciate it.
And I think, kind of like you had said, sometimes Instagram, social media can be the highlight reel, and the news or whatever, it's usually negative. So it's refreshing to see somebody just doing.
Yeah.
And the way you guys approached it was great. Like you didn't approach it as a, hey, look at me. It's just more of a, like, be on the lookout because this could be you.
Yeah.
Or this could be somebody that you care about.
Yeah. No, it's very true. And like when we did that, I think we got like roughly 20 people that either nominated someone or nominated themselves. And we'll launch like the 2 winners. Like we're gonna be doing three winners as a
Annually,
yeah. And obviously, if we're in a position where we can do more, we'll do more. But we just selected the first 2, and one of the ladies that we called, she started crying, and she said nothing's ever positive's really happened. It's don't want to put all her business out there, but she said, I just got diagnosed with cancer and all this stuff, and just I think she's an older lady that just lives in a rougher area, but she's been there for forever.
Yeah, it's her home.
That's her home. So she's like, I never had the house painted, nothing, like just crying and just being so appreciative, and like that's what we kind of do it for. You know what I'm saying? Like to make people happy and to just show that
Spread some joy.
exactly.
Spread some joy. Because I mean, to your point, it's she's lit. That's her home.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times people, we can take for granted, myself included, sometimes this roof over our head or the clothes on our back, but like that means so much.
Yeah.
And then for someone to be willing to come paint it for you,
Yeah.
like that's just, and by putting it out there, it's just, again, refreshing to see, like there are people out here there are so many more people out there doing good than bad.
Yeah.
It's just people sometimes forget that media is a business.
Yeah.
And they want to captivate you, and that's by sharing the negative sides of things.
Yeah. The negative is always, that's what people want to.
It's the
That are
tea,
behind,
man.
yeah, yeah.
It's the, tell me the tea.
Yeah.
So a little bit like shift into your leadership style, including how you lead yourself. Like, what's one daily habit or routine that's like non-negotiable that makes Andy who Andy is?
I'm not sure, honestly. I would say like Triumph, come in here, but obviously I don't come here every single day, but I try to. I got my days that I come here. But that makes me,
See, this is the Andrew that, like, you're so low key.
yeah.
Like, you're super chill. What's one thing that riles you up? Like, what's a pet peeve that'll...
I mean, and it goes back to the business. I don't want to be like, oh, this all he talks about is business, but it like one thing that riles me up, and Olivia, my family will tell you, is unsatisfied customer.
Yeah.
I can't go to sleep. I can't do nothing until I know that it's either resolved or they know that we're going to resolve it. And I'm sure you're the same way. Like like I'll change completely. I could be the happiest man on earth, but then boom, when someone's like, oh, something's, I don't like this. I'm like,
Is there a difference between a genuinely unhappy customer because there was genuinely something wrong, or is it just because they have expectations that were unrealistic?
a lot of times it's just like the guys might have missed something, or like our guys are top notch, but some people don't realize that painting can, it can peel or it can flake, and it has nothing to do with how we applied it. It's just what it is. Amelia just texted me. We had a guy, we painted the ceiling. He has like a little bit of like some cracks.
Yeah.
And he was battling that before us, and we thought what we would do would fix it, but obviously it didn't. So that stuff, it's like we can't be 100%, but we can try it. But like I said, 9 out of 10 times, if something goes wrong, it's either just because it's an honest mistake, the guys missed it, or
Does that still mess with your emotions?
as
Far as like that riles you up, that throws you off?
yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do to counteract that for yourself? I'm just saying for like your own personal peace. And I'm asking this is kind of a personal thing, because this is something that I've worked through over the last 2 years especially.
Yeah.
Like, how do I make sure that I don't let anything emotionally hijack me so that I can keep a clear thought process?
If I'm being honest, I'm probably still working on it. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't figured it out.
I think we're all working on it.
Yeah. I'm still working, because like I said, excuse me, that review that we got this morning, I'm like, can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if someone gave us a bad review, I'm on it right away.
Yeah.
I'm on it right away. But again, it kind of sounds like we get bad reviews, but we think we have over 100 something with maybe one.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have phenomenal. I mean, I think we're currently at 418 reviews, and I'm so grateful. This team does such a phenomenal job, and this community stands behind us. But there are a couple that we miss the mark.
Yeah.
And some of them are genuine, which is why, like, to your point, I think we both will reach out to a customer or a member and be like, hey, man, thank you, first of all, for giving us a shot. Thank you for taking the time to leave that feedback. That's how we get better.
Yeah.
Would you allow me an opportunity to try and make this right?
Yeah.
You can't dictate if they say yes or no, or how they handle it. But I think, at least for me, how do I let myself not go to bed and just let that eat me up?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't always win that.
I think mine would be like, if something happened like that, maybe just getting them an email or a text message, just like, hey, just don't worry, we'll take care of it. And then once that's done, then I'm like, okay, like at least they know that we'll take care of it. But it goes back to me. It's like, it's so hard to get a positive review. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard. But it's very easy to get a negative.
Right.
People will leave a negative review a lot quicker than they will a positive review. Like that person that left the guys or whoever left you a 1-star review, would they have left you a 5-star review if it was an amazing time? Potentially, but it's very hard because we have like 100 and something reviews, but we do hundreds of projects a year.
Right.
And we know that they're happy because they'll tell us they're happy. Right. And we'll send you thank you cards and stuff, but it's still hard to get a positive review. You have thousands of people that come through here that change, that you change their lives and are happy, but it's just hard to get a positive review. They might tell people and all that, but once they're negative, they're acting off of anger and emotions. What can I do to make sure they know that I'm not happy?
Yeah. And a lot of times that goes back to something else. There's usually a deeper rooted cause.
Yeah.
And I just know as a business owner, that's something that I'm constantly working on myself on of like, I'm never going to meet everyone's expectations, whether that's my team, whether that's my members, and every decision that I make. And we have to make hundreds throughout the day.
Like, especially when you have other people that are taking that role as well, like you have the front desk and the coaches, and then we have,
and it all comes down to the same thing with your crew. I trust them.
Yeah.
So like you said, whoever may or may not have ran the stop sign, because it could have been perceived differently.
Yeah.
Who knows what was going on?
Yeah.
I'm sure they would have never done that intentionally.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't work with you.
Yeah. Like no one's around here trying to get tickets or hurt someone,
Right. So what do you like? What's your future vision for Three Rivers? Like, I know you and Olivia recently got married. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, now you have a whole new, like, your family just doubled basically.
Yeah. I'm not letting my foot off the gas yet. I want to continue to grow. Whether that's different locations, growing and doing more projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy, don't get me wrong, but there's still opportunity for growth.
Absolutely, man.
That's where my vision is, and I could easily say, okay, I'm content with where I'm at now, but that's just not how my mindset is, at least for right now. Something could easily change that.
It makes me think of something that, and Adrian, I'm sure you've heard Kelly Bird say this, that a mentor and coach that we both share has said before is like, you're grateful, never satisfied.
Yeah.
Like, and in business, I think that's like, you're grateful for what you got. You're super thankful that God has aligned whatever and put you in the family in the position you are, but you're not satisfied. And that's okay, because at least from what I know of you, the more successful you are, the more you're going to give back.
Yeah.
The more philanthropy you can do, the more you can grow this community.
That's my ultimate goal, is like, obviously we all like nice things and stuff like that, but I get more enjoyment out of giving something back than I do depositing a check, I get enjoyment about being able to help my guys, have a living, be able to, just do like little things like the give backs that Adrian and I do, like that kind of stuff, like makes people happy, and the paying it forward, like if I could get all my money away, I would, but obviously I got bills to pay, but
we all do.
Yeah. But going back to like, if you get satisfied and content, then boom, someone else comes in and they can start, taking your business or, so it's always good to have the mindset. You don't necessarily have to grow, but you have the mindset to improve. What can I do better?
Which in another way is growth.
Yeah.
I mean, and like a lot of times I think we all age. That's human nature, but we don't always all grow.
Yeah.
Like, some people don't want to improve.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's like, but like, it sounds like you have just always kind of had an ambition and a drive internally.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of what Fuel and Fire is all about. It's like, obviously, to have a physical vessel like you do, strong and capable of all the things, you fuel it properly.
Yeah.
Like, you pay attention to what you eat.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about your macros and
I watch what I eat Monday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday I tend to eat what I want. But
that's perfect.
But I'm always watching, but I do watch what I eat, but I never, like, before I started coming to Triumph, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I used to play basketball. I used to work out every single day, all day, every day, so I didn't really need to. But then when I stopped, I'm like, oh, I'm putting some bad weight on. I need to go back to, working out. And obviously I'm older, so things operate a little bit differently. So I'm like, I need to watch what I eat. So
Who you telling you're older? I feel you though.
Yeah.
But I love the approach that you just said, because that's a healthy relationship with food.
yeah,
Like you said, Monday through Thursday.
yeah,
Things are on point. Things are tight. Things are scheduled. You know what you're gonna eat
Yeah.
and when. And then the rest of the time you enjoy life.
yeah. I don't like splurge on the weekends, but like I eat what I want. But like I'm also in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, like I eat this on Friday. Let's
Same.
eat something a little bit better on Saturday. But I know people that they watch what they eat every single time, and that takes hard work.
It does, and it can become like a full-time job.
Yeah,
And I know for me, like with the addictive personality that I have, that my first year I was nothing, not a cake, not a cookie, not a bite of anything, and that's not sustainable either.
Yeah.
So like it's finding that blend that's gonna work for you.
it's good because it help you get to where you're at today.
So what do you see? What do you want your legacy to be someday of Andy today? Like what do you
Just someone that gave back, honestly. Like he did a lot with what he had, and like I keep repeating it, and like it's like, oh, does he really? Like, no, that's just really what I believe in. Like I've always thought about giving back and helping others. Like if I see someone that's needing some money, on like a homeless person, like if I have money, I give them money. I remember when I was in high school, I was in a basketball tournament. I found like $300 on the floor. Someone must have dropped it out of their pockets. Called Spees Fieldhouse. Hey, did anybody say they lost this money? No, they didn't. My school was doing a little fundraiser or charity thing. Gave that $300. I was like 17. Who, you know what I'm saying? Like I could have brought me a new pair of shoes and a nice outfit, but it's not my money.
Yeah, you were just a steward of it for a short time
Yeah.
to pass it on to do
Yeah.
bigger and better things. Yeah, man. And I think a lot of times, like, whether that's teachable or not, man, it's just you are gifted with a heart
Yeah.
that cares, and that shows in your business.
Yeah. You don't always you don't always have to give away, like give back to get money. You can just help. Take some of this.
Do what you can.
Yeah, do what you can. Yeah.
If you can do something, do something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. If there was anybody out there thinking about starting a business, or if they were just on the come up or something like that, what's a piece of advice you would give them?
A big one would be, you gotta believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Realize that it's gonna take a lot of hard work. Realize that you could lose some friendships. You could have some falling out with family members. But if you believe in yourself and you're willing to work hard, I believe you could be successful. There might be some ups and downs, but like honestly, like if you believe in yourself and you work hard and you're willing to do whatever it takes, then you could do it. And I think that's with anybody. And don't like, people fail all the time. Like there's been things that I've done and I failed, but if you get back up and try again, something will click. And you'll be able to figure something. And that's also with anything too. Like that's with any job. Just try to give it your all, So
Yeah, if you're gonna spend the time, because we get such a limited amount of time on this earth.
yeah,
If you're gonna spend your time doing it, why would you not want to do it to the best of your ability?
yeah. Some people like 9 to 5. Some people want to own their own business. There's nothing wrong with either one. But when you have something that you started from the ground up, it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling.
Which is why you probably hold so close when you get an upset customer
exactly
or a bad review, because it's literally your vision, your baby.
Yeah. And you work like I said, I worked so hard to get to a 5-star, or to get to like 100 and something reviews. Like I worked so hard for that. So when one thing can affect it hurts. So
It's hard not to take it personal.
yeah. And like I said, we don't like I just don't want the 5 stars just to have them. Like it's a like we take pride in that. Like we try to be
because you earned them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And that's great advice for anybody in anything that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But like you said, ultimately you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to own a business or you're going to start something, you have to go to a bank sometimes, or someplace and ask for a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe in you, how are you going to expect somebody else to believe in you?
Exactly.
Like, so you have to have that, and it has to be passion. It has to be a drive. It has to be a fuel that it doesn't matter what doubt from friends, family, coworkers, like if you're thinking about leaving a job and starting a business or like whatever it is.
I tell there's a lot of I should say a lot, but there's been a handful of people that ask me like, hey, I got this idea, and I tell them go for it. Make sure it's a smart, like you have everything aligned and you could do it, financially, but you got to go for it. But everybody here, Adrian and you, like you got to realize you're gonna have sleepless nights. You're gonna be stressed out. You're gonna be like, oh, my account, I don't got nothing in my account. Like I need help. I know Adrian's growing now, and he's looking for other people, which is a positive. But it's one of those things like you don't necessarily realize until you actually start it. Like it's a lot of hard work, but positive outweighs the negative.
Yeah, and one thing that I know I learned from the book 10X by Grant Cardone that Justin Harkleroad got me to read a long time ago is whatever amount of effort, money, time you think it's going to take, it's going to take way more.
Yeah.
It's going to take way more. But that doesn't mean don't do it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean don't go for it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean don't believe in yourself. You just have to know there are going to be moments where you doubt yourself and fear is going to want to creep in and lead. And that's when the fuel and the fire comes into effect. Because that's where it's like Monday through Thursday, you fueled your body properly. And Adrian knows this. Like when you fuel your body efficiently, you can make better decisions, think quicker, have more confidence, all those things, because you're doing the things that it takes to succeed.
Yeah. No, it's very true. It's very true. A lot of things you do in life kind of all come together.
Man, yeah. I mean, some people will say it as like how you do one thing is how you do all things, but like your life is a culmination and a blend of your habits, which come back to your daily choices.
Yeah.
Which for like a deeper seated root, it's like your belief. Do you believe that you're worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have one motto? This will be the last question. Do you have one motto that you live by, or is there a phrase that keeps you going sometimes when things get tough?
I always say to myself, I actually got it, they put on my bedroom wall, and it says trust and believe. And it's just no one's ever said, like, obviously you've heard trust and believe before and you've seen it around, but there's not a certain person that said it and it stuck. But it's just something that I always, even when I was playing basketball, and it's just like you trust and believe in yourself. Cliche, but you will achieve. And the same thing, like, I'm a Christian, so I believe in God, and I put all my trust and believe in Him. And I think just anything in life, if you trust and believe, like, you can't fail. You just can't. There might be, like, going again, there might be ups and downs, but the biggest thing, like, if just believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and things should be all right.
Yeah.
You also got to be living the right way as well, but
for sure. Well, I appreciate your time, man.
No, I appreciate it.
I'm thankful I'm thankful to have gotten to know you. I'm thankful for everything that you do for our community. I'm thankful for the role you play here for me as a friend and as a man. And just, if anybody out there wants to get to know Three Rivers better, or maybe they want to hire you guys for your services, where's the best place for them to find you at?
Probably just go to our website. It's 3rp.co, or you can just give us a call at 260-557-3734. If you go to Triumph, Amelia will answer, so you can get to talk to her. But yeah, you can just send us an email or give us a call, and we'll reach out within an hour and get you guys ready for a quote.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. There's another episode of Triumph Fuel and Fire. My name's Tyler. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you next time.